Okay, yeah, one big applause for Ivan Lulić, Managing Director at Superology.
Is it working? Yeah. I wanted to thank you guys for coming here, and especially I would like to thank to Netokracija. I don't see Beata where she is. There you are. Special thanks to Netokracija for helping us basically do this, because as Ivan mentioned on the start, this is the first conference that we did ever. And it's been like 10 years since we started. And I would like to thank the Zvonimira and Dina and Tena. They are girls from Superology and Sportening who basically made this whole thing happen and come alive. That is yeah, thank you. I will be talking about the people because essentially what Sean told and what Ivan told and Ivo and Mario, basically they were talking about cross-functional teams and how that reflects on product, of the quality of the product and stuff like that. But all those cross-functional teams and the people who are making that products are just people. Essentially, we are all people who are in some company persuade or getting in the same direction. We are combined with one vision and we work for a certain goal. So basically, only happy people are creating the excellent products. That's the most important thing. Sorry. So what is the most important thing, as the guys also mentioned, is the talent density. I would briefly revert back in the history. Basically, when we started, there was like 4 or 5 of us, and all the knowledge was concentrated in 3 or 4 people. So we were kind of bottleneck. Everybody was asking what to do with this, how do we develop this product, how do we develop this feature, and it was unsustainable. Then we started to grow, and we realized, okay, we have to change something. So we educated ourselves, we read a lot of books, we went to Marty Kagan's presentation in London, and we realized that we need to transform our company in cross-functional teams. But for that, you need talented people, you need high-skilled people. And how to find those people, how to make them work on a product in your company. Well, yeah, the most important thing is either to hire them, or if you can't hire them, if they are not available, how should I say, on the market, because the pool, especially in Croatia, is really small, then you need to create them. And you take time for that, because it's really important and it'd be worth it on a long run. So yeah, basically, I discovered the holy grail now. You only need highly skilled people, and they need to be happy. So yeah, that's unbelievable. Everybody can do that, say that. So yeah, what makes happy people happy? That's the most important thing of this presentation. Well, I think most of us, or all of us in the audience, have asked ourselves at one point in our life, what's my purpose? For example, why am I here? Why am I alive? But okay, I'm referring now to the personal life, but let's stick to the professional part of life. Well, the purpose in the company is glued with the vision. That's the most important thing in the company. So purpose equals vision in a professional way in a company. So if you give people a clear vision, then they will follow you, and they will basically be exceptional, and they are going to do the best job they can do. And it's all great. Again, you say to them, yeah, John, you are great. You are a really important piece of the company. You are really important piece of a puzzle. You're like in a chain. That's great. Without you, we cannot make it. You can tell that to people all the time, and they will say, yeah, it's really good. But yeah, but you can fool people sometime, but you cannot fool them all the time. So what you have to do, you have to make sure that people trust you. And how will they trust you? they will only trust you if they feel it, if they feel that vision, if they feel that they are participating in happening something unbelievable. So how do you do that? Well, it's really simple in a way. At each point, they need to know why are they doing something, how are they going to do it, and what's the expected result. That's the most important thing. That's the purpose, that's the vision, that's the context. And let's imagine, not let's imagine, we are doing that. Let's say that we are doing the best sports entertainment application in the world. Okay. So Superbet or Superology or Sportening wants to be the best company in the world who is producing some product. It doesn't matter. So to be the best, they need to have the best product, okay? So that product could be the best, you need to have the best teams, cross-functional teams that the guys mentioned. And that cross-functional team could be the best, each individual in that team has to be the best. It's simple. So then again, you have to be the best. And the main key of the leaders of the company, and by leaders I mean CEO, managing director, head of engineering, head of design, technical lead, or whoever, needs to support that, needs to support you. They need to be like platform, they need to serve you so that you can be the best you can be. That's the only way to do it. Sorry, guys. So, as I mentioned, this was just an intro to role of the leaders. One of the most essential or most important part about the leaders is that you have to make yourself as a platform. That is the most important thing. There is no, you must put ego on the side. Your only job of the leader of the company is to remove basically all the obstacles for the guys who are working on a product. That means removing bureaucracy, putting some processes to a minimum, basically making shit happen. For example, like 8-9 years ago, when we were starting, and as Ivan mentioned, there was Marin and Petar, and when they needed something, for example, I need a cell phone to test something, I don't need new laptop, I need a new chair. Everything needs to be provided so they can be the best they can be. Like a few years ago, when we were working with client, I think also even mentioned it was Italian client, one customer had some obscure bug, and it was on some, again, obscure cell phone, and we couldn't find that cell phone. There is no way we couldn't find the cell phone. So we went on the Njuškalo, and I found the cell phone, and I was trying to meet the guy to sell me the cell phone so I can give it to developers so they can debug, basically, that bug. And I was begging him, because it was like 200 kuna cell phone. It was shitty cell phone. He wasn't interested in selling it to me, because 200 kuna was not too much big of a deal. He was living like in other part of the town. So I begged him, and in 1 or 2 days, basically, I persuaded him to meet me in some parking lot in some, I don't want to say where, but it's some obscure parking lot, and I finally managed to get that cell phone and give it to the developers. So they fixed the bug, and again, what happened after? We solved the bug for the end customer. So that is the most important thing. So basically, you have to do everything for your people so they can be the best they can be. And you know what is the catch? What is the great thing about that? When you remove all obstacles, when you put bureaucracy to zero, when you help with some trivial things like getting a cell phone or a new chair or a new laptop or everything what is bothering them, then you can expect excellence, because you provided everything, you provided definitely everything that it's your purpose, and then you can expect excellence from them. And somebody will fall off, and that's okay. That's normal. Only excellent people, as I mentioned, make excellent product, and only excellent people, high talent density, we want in our companies. Yeah, there is One more important thing about compensation. Well, you have to provide proper compensation. But the key thing is that you have to provide compensation as much as you can at that point of a time. When you are a startup, of course, you cannot pay much. When you are mid-level company, you can pay a bit more and stuff like that. When you're a big company, you can maybe pay even more. Pay as much as you can to your employees. That's the most important thing, because your employees are making your product better, so your company will better, so you will earn more money, and it's all cyclical. And yeah, if you don't have the money at the time and your employee asks you, yeah, but I have to pay a bills, I have to do something, open the books, make a plan for them, show them the finances of the company. That's pretty normal. We are here, we have to pay the bills for this, and this. Open the books, show them, and make a plan for them what will happen in 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Never leave them in the dark. I don't know if guys mentioned, I don't think the guys mentioned before, feedback is really essential to this. You give feedback to your people, they give feedback to you, because only in that way both parties can be better. Yeah, and for the end, basically how that reflects on the company and on the product. When people are working freely, basically when you removed all the obstacles or the bureaucracy and all the stuff I talked about, people are not afraid to step up. They are not afraid to speak up. They are not afraid to challenge you. They are not afraid to challenge their peers. So they're not afraid, and as Mario mentioned, of failure. So that is the really important thing, not being afraid of the failure. That is something that is really important. And how that, Mario didn't mention about fear of failure. 60% of hypotheses that we did, we basically failed. That's unbelievable. So that's something from that we learn, we pivot, we remove some feature, and eventually the product gets better. Sorry, back. And yeah, how that reflects overall on the company. Well, you have that, as Mario mentioned, founder's feel. You start to believe that your company is your company. You start to act like it's your company. You have that feeling inside you. And of course, it's great if there is a solution, if there is a possibility, if the company can give you some shares or give you some compensation, not in a monthly pay, but in some other ways. Actually, in Superology and in Sport and in Super, what we are doing on that program, so the people will have not theoretical or philosophical feel that they are part of something good, because we are not a cult, but they should be also compensated in a right way. So to conclude, hire, as the guys mentioned, hire the right people, treat them like people, make them happy, and in reverse, expect nothing but excellence. Yeah, that's it.
We are waiting for your questions. Of course. No, we need it because of the streams and, yeah, sorry. We cannot read your lips.
You can leave it next time here.
Yeah.
So it's great talking about excellence and demanding excellence. How do you personally go about making sure that people don't abuse the system? I'm all for giving people what they need to perform the work. How do you discover people that try to abuse the system? And how to make sure transparently that everybody knows that everybody on the team has the same mission and goal.
Can we go one by one? What was the first thing?
First bullet. The question is, how do you make sure that nobody abuses the system of I'll provide anything that you need?
Again, that's all about talent density, because you hire people that you trust. You hire people that you don't need to micromanage. If you, let's say you make a wrong hiring, I don't want to brag, but we are doing a really good job regarding that. For example, we could easily now have 100 people. In Superology, we have like 60. So yeah, you need to hire someone which is skilled, but what is more important to be a good culture fit, so that people will not abuse anything you give them. So yeah, that's the talent density. Again, you need to hire quality people.
Do we have another question from anybody else?
I got a question.
Where?
Here. It's all right. I just have a simple question, and that's how do you know someone's excellent?
How do you know someone is excellent? Well, we can combine that. There is two ways of being excellent. As Mario mentioned, for example, somebody is passionate, somebody is motivated. Okay, you give him the vision, somebody is following that vision, so he is passionate about that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you know someone is an excellent, you give him some goals. There are OKRs, KPIs, however you want to call it. So if somebody is performing good, somebody can overperform, somebody can perform as match the level, and somebody can underperform. In our company, most likely people are performing or overperforming. So you have to have some OKRs that basically corroborate that the whole vision, the whole product story, and there he proves basically his excellence. Yeah.
Are there any people in the audience who would like to work for Superology or for Sportening, for example? That's my question.
You can come.
Everybody is shy now.
In the next days. Yeah.
Okay, another question. Yeah, please.
Hi. You kind of spoiled my question with about creating the founders feel with your employees, but you did touch upon the culture and giving out shares. So I was just wondering if there's any other method that you guys use to create the founders feel with your employees.
Regarding that, I didn't want to mention a word culture so much because today is overabused. Everyone is talking about culture. It's a new buzzword. Culture, we give this great integrity, autonomy, and stuff like that. You either live it or not. That's why I talked about people and referred more to happy people. So yeah, you create culture. Basically, the maybe 2 or 3 fundamental stuff is like leave ego at the door, be humble, and be the best you can be. And the leaders are here to support everything for you to be the best you can be.
Short and clear. Amen.
If all of them are passionate, if you hired 8 people which are not passionate, you did a really lazy job. But let's say you actually hired one which is not successful, his colleagues will actually detect that, and then obviously from feedback culture, you are able to evaluate who is successful and who is underperforming and who is lazy and so on. So yeah, the team will decide that.
That is one of the most important thing. Lots of you, I presume, have read the Netflix book, No Rules. Those keywords that Ivo and Mario and I mentioned now, freedom and responsibility, context, not control, stuff like that. Basically, we have lived like that from the start of our company. That was like 10 years ago, but we lived like that organically. Only 2 or 3 people left the company from the start in 10 years, so we practically don't have a churn rate per se. But if you have a team of 5, 6, 7, or 8 people, if one is not good for a longer period of time, I'm not talking about you have some personal issues, you have some professional problems, lots of stuff is going on in your head. It's not the end of the world if you're not performing excellent for a month, 2 or 3. That's all okay. But it's important that you be true to yourself and come to the leaders or team lead and tell that problem. That's exactly what Mario mentioned, feedback. Because team of 7 or 8 people are depending on you. And if that team starts to see that you are slacking, that you are lazy, stuff like that, and if you didn't share why is that happening to you, then they will start to mimic you. One, how should I say, maybe it's too rude word, one bad person will make the whole team bad. That is just in human nature. So give feedback as much as you can, not just to the peers, leadership to the people, to the leads underneath, and vice versa. That is the most important thing, yeah.
Yeah, you and then you.
Yeah, just to add on this question about how people are, how we prevent that people are not abusing the culture of freedom, let's say. So there was a guy in 1960s called Robert Noyce. He was living in New York and working for a big company that was kind of organized like having a top management, mostly being a family. They were having drivers, big limousines, and nice high life. And they asked him to build a team around some project that they wanted to run. He went to the West Coast and built a team in some crappy office. He found the best people and they just told them, do the shit, like do the best job of your life. And they actually built that department, became bigger than the rest of the company combined. And they offered him a position to be a CEO of the company. But he refused, and then he founded Intel. And he's the father of Silicon Valley. That's his nickname today. So what I want to say is that also in our case, in this 120 people, we didn't have any experience that somebody abused the freedom. No, we didn't have that experience. Almost, maybe 1 or 2. I'm not aware of them. So that's what this Bob Noyce said. He said that the modern companies actually tried to, and they actually unintentionally scaled the feudalism of controlling people. And while you give the people the freedom, they almost never abuse that, especially in this industry where you hire all the highly educated people and they already set the high standards for themselves before you hire them.
Great. We have time just for one more question, and I think it will be you.
Could you describe a little bit about the hiring process? Because I think this would be practical for people who are trying to select these excellent people. And what does the Superology hiring process look like?
We don't have a classical hiring process where you have like, let's now talk about technical roles. For example, we want to hire a backend developer or iOS developer or something like that. They don't do some tests that includes algorithms, because someone who finished study, just college yesterday, knows algorithms better than some experienced developer. So what we do, there is a just simple 3-step interview process where someone comes to the office, we talk with him, we share a vision. Basically, we show him or her our story, and we see how they react. And if we see that we are cultural fit, there is a task that we give to the person that needs to solve. And that task is specific for product manager, iOS developer, Android developer, designer, or data analyst. It doesn't matter. That task is important because it shows his skills, but which is most important, we have another workshop after that task is finished. And on that workshop, basically, he defends that task, and that task cannot be solved perfectly. Nobody can solve it perfectly. And basically, we see how the person reacts on feedback, which is really important to us, how he reacts in the real environment, because tomorrow, if we hire him or her, she will be working in that environment in the team, and that will be the discussion and the debates about some new feature that basically we want to develop. And if that goes okay, then basically that's it. We have a new person in our team. So yeah, it's pretty simple.
Well, thank you a lot for your lecture. Thank you so much. we have to wrap it up. I think it was a brilliant conference and a brilliant energy. And how was it for you? Yeah, I really loved it. So one big round of applause for Sean at the first place and for the rest of the guys who was there. And thank you all for being such patient and really active audience. Really, really appreciate it and hope to see you soon for some other Netokracija event. And now eat in peace. Thank you so much and good night.